Hello and welcome back to the Sports Shift. Lots and lots of action this week at Newman University and around the Philadelphia sports area. So, Brylin, let's get right to it.
Let's get right to it. The Pittsburgh Penguins became the first team in salary cap era to score 11 goals in a game against the Detroit Red Wings on Sunday, which is also just one goal shy of the club's all-time record. The last team to accomplish this was the Washington Capitals in 2003, scoring 12 goals against the Florida Panthers. The NHL record for most goals in a game by a single team is 16, set by the Montreal Canadiens in 1920. So we were literally just talking before this. The Penguins are on fire recently,
Yes.
and they're really good, and they're coming to town. They're coming into Philly April 24th. So.
Yes, I wish we could say that about the Flyers. But hey, we might beat the Penguins.
You never watch us
April
lose.
24th, so
You know.
make sure you get to that game. But following a 4-0 win over Jamaica on Sunday, Canada qualified for the 2022 World Cup. The victory ends the 36-year wait for the team to grace soccer's biggest stage once again. The men's team tournament is set to begin in November in Qatar. Playing on Sunday as well, the men's USA soccer team beat Panama 5-1 to all but guarantee their qualification for the 2022 World Cup as well. Christian Pulisic scored a hat trick to secure the victory at Orlando's Exploria Stadium. Love seeing the USA team rise up.
Absolutely. But the Yukon, someone else that's rising up, is the Yukon women's basketball team outlasts NC State in 91-87 in double overtime to reach their 14th straight Final Four. Paige Beckers, who grew up 10 miles outside the side of the Final Four, which is in Minneapolis, scored 15 of her 27 points in the two overtimes. The sensational sophomore, who missed 2 months this season with a knee injury, once again looked like the athlete who won AP Player of the Year last year. Yukon head coach stated, "Thank God Paige came back because she just gives everybody so much confidence." The Huskies face top seed Stanford Friday night, so that should be a really great game for both teams. I'm really looking forward to see what she can do and put out on the court.
Only a sophomore and already making strides, and probably a leader on the team as well. Like, that's amazing. She probably has a very bright career ahead of her.
Absolutely.
And a bright career for the Eagles this next season. On Tuesday, the NFL announced its new playoff overtime rules. The new implementation ensures both teams' possession on offense and defense in the event of an overtime. So these new rules, I know a lot of fans of the NFL have been impatiently waiting for these modifications. So it should level the playing field and make the playoffs even more nail-biting than they already are.
I think I'm very happy they added this in. I think it'll, take it to the next step of like what's going to happen in overtime now, like you never know.
Yep.
So, but on, like Ria said, hopefully a bright future for the Eagles. On Saturday, the Eagles added another addition to their 2022 lineup in signing linebacker Kaiser White to a 1-year deal. White, who has spent his first 4 seasons with the LA Chargers, tallied the 8th most tackles in the NFL last season at 144. Following the departure of Alex Singleton in free agency, White is a likely candidate to start at linebacker alongside TJ Edwards. White, rounding out at 6'2" and 216 pounds, is a volume tacker and offers versatility as a former college safety. Considering White's short-term deal, the Eagles could still add more depth to the position in the upcoming NFL draft. Safety and cornerback headline some of the Eagles' most pressing holes in the roster. The team has 10 picks, including 3 first-round selections in the draft, which comes with a ton of opportunity. Aside from amping up roster modifications, the team will be getting some swag upgrades, as on Tuesday delivered some news fans have been waiting on for years. Kelly green jerseys are coming back. Beginning in the 2023 season, the Eagles will reintroduce their classic Kelly green jerseys with matching helmets. Lurie said they want to make these jerseys as close to the 1980s style that so many fans remember. The NFL announced a new policy in June of 2021 that would allow teams to use 2 different helmets starting with the 2022 season. This had been the hurdle in the way of the Eagles using their Kelly Green jerseys as an alternate. While there was no rule against the use of Kelly Green jerseys, Lurie had repeatedly said he didn't want to bring back the jerseys without a matching helmet. Using full helmet decals was an option he was not interested in, and Kelly Green jerseys paired with midnight green helmets wouldn't have looked right. So maybe these new jerseys, these new alternate jerseys can, get some momentum going, excitement going in the season.
Yeah, this should be fun. For older fans, it should be very nostalgic, and for younger fans like ourselves, we've never seen the Kelly Green jersey, so it should definitely be another exciting element to next season, and hopefully, like you said, bring some success with it. But along with success comes new faces on the Flyers blue line. Noah Cates, a 2017 fifth-round draft pick that has developed into one of the Flyers' better prospects, signed his 2-year entry-level deal Sunday. The Flyers announced the contract effective immediately this season and wasted no time adding him to the lineup in perfect fashion against the Wild in his hometown, Minnesota, on Tuesday. Cates' 4-year collegiate career came to an early end Saturday with Minnesota Duluth's 2-1 loss to Denver in a regional final of the NCAA tournament. The 23-year-old is a versatile, well-rounded prospect. He can play winger or center, has good size at 6'2", 190 pounds, and was an all-situation player for the Bulldogs. Cates also played for the U.S. in the 2022 Beijing Olympics. So all-star, to say the least. Although it was a momentous way for the rest, it wasn't that. Let me rephrase that. Last night, Tuesday night, the Flyers played the Minnesota Wild, and while it was momentous for Cates, it was not for the rest of the team. The Flyers ended their 5-game road trip, handing the Minnesota Wild their 7th consecutive win. With the loss also came the official plug for playoff contention for the Orange and Black. The Flyers came away from this trip with a 1-4-0 mark, falling to 1-14-2 in their last 17 games away from home. Morgan Frost was the Flyers' lone goal scorer Tuesday night when he backhanded a rebound to the top right corner. Other than that, the Flyers couldn't seem to slide anything past Marc-Andre Fleury. Following a day off Wednesday, the Flyers are set to practice Thursday and Friday before hosting the Maple Leafs on Saturday at 7 p.m. On Tuesday morning, the Flyers also announced the signing of prospect Ronnie Attard to his 2-year entry-level contract. The 23-year-old defenseman could make his NHL debut this weekend in the Orange and Black. Brylin, I know you have a soft spot for Marc-Andre Fleury, and I know that you would be very proud of him last night. He made one windmill save in the third to really
just seal
out the win, and it was pretty amazing, I have to say.
And that's fine because he's just an amazing person, amazing goalie, and I feel like you can't be mad when he does good.
37 and still got it. You really can't be mad.
He's just a great guy. But the Phillies on Tuesday traded outfielder Adam Haseley, I'm so sorry, to the Chicago White Sox for right-handed pitcher McKinley Moore. Haseley, 25, was the Phil's first-round pick, 8th overall in the 2017 draft. He debuted 2 seasons later and ended up playing 116 games with the Phillies, hitting .264. The trade of Haseley opened a spot on the Phillies' 40-man roster that could potentially go to infielder Bryson Stott, who has an impressive camp. Moore is a 23-year-old, 6'6" right-hander. He ended last season at high A ball. Overall, he had a 4.2 ERA in 37 relief appearances with 59 strikeouts and 21 walks in 40 innings. With this and the trade of Luke Williams, the guy who hit a walk-off homer last season in his MLB debut, who has now been traded to the San Francisco Giants, the roster intrigue continues to grow as we are about a week and a half away from the home opener. So some exciting things coming with the Phillies as well. New faces, who's gonna, the whole roster deal. We don't know. We have no idea yet.
Yes. Other than some spots that are completely locked in, well, not everything, but also this opens up holes for players like Mickey Moniak.
Right.
I know it's kind of surprising to see them let go of Luke Williams, he was coming up, and in his debut, he was like so explosive.
Mhm.
So, but I feel like it's telling. It's
Yeah.
telling that what the choices they are going to make for the roster and who they're confident in and
Right.
who they're leaving opportunity to. So.
Right. They may know things that we don't, and it all
Yeah.
pans out on how their spring training is going.
Yes.
So,
yes. Maybe we'll see Scott Kingery come back up in the lineup. Never know. But for a second straight game, the Sixers impressed in taking a substantial lead on a defending conference champion, but couldn't seal the deal. After falling Sunday to the Phoenix Suns, the team dropped a dramatic 118-116 outcome Tuesday night at Wells Fargo Center to the Bucks. Down 2 points with 12.4 seconds left, James Harden drew Brook Lopez on a switch. He missed a step-back three-pointer, but Joel Embiid grabbed the rebound and looked like he was about to tie the game. Facing Brook Lopez for the first time this season, Embiid nailed a mid-range jumper on the Sixers' first possession, but did not begin the game well. He misfired on his next 7 field goals. James Harden notched 32 points and 9 assists. Embiid had 29 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 assists, and Tobias Harris, he posted 22 points and 11 boards. The Sixers now sit at 46-29. That is 4th standing in the Eastern Conference and are due to face the Pistons on Thursday night in Detroit. The Eastern Conference standings are so tight right now.
That's what makes it more fun.
It does make it a lot of fun. But I'm very excited for playoffs and to see the Sixers, run hopefully deeper than they did last season. But I feel like they still need to tighten up a few things.
But I think they could do it.
Yes.
They could do it. They have potential to do it.
They have the depth. When they're on their game, they have the depth. So it doesn't worry me.
But before we hop into our spring sport updates, we would like to congratulate women's hockey head coach Gina McLaughlin, who will be inducted into the 2022 Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame on Sunday, April 24th. McLaughlin graduated from Interboro High School, where she was the captain of the boys hockey team and gained national attention as one of the top club players. McLaughlin went on to play at Boston University, graduating as the program's leader in points with 52 goals and 50 assists, as well as the first woman to be a 3-year captain at BU. She stated, "The opportunity to be a head coach at the rink I grew up with in a town I'm essentially from was an opportunity I couldn't pass up. It's a sport that I love. It gave me many opportunities and has some of the greatest memories as a child in college. It gave me great friendships and great coaches," she explained. "I want to give back to the sport that gave me so much, and I'll coach as long as I can." It's such a sweet, sentimental moment.
And that is what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Giving back to who molded you and the city, state that molded you, and the sport that molded you. So awesome for her.
Yeah. Congratulations,
yes.
Gina.
And the men and women's track and field team opened their outdoor season Saturday afternoon. The men continued to be led by freshman Drew Kanighty with a time of 4 minutes and 12 seconds on his 1,500-meter run. Courtney Humphreys paced the women's team in the 1,500-meter run, crossing the line at 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Sophia Parrish also picked up a top 20 performance in the javelin with a throw of 30.68 meters. They are back in action this weekend at the Danny Curran Invitational, hosted by Widener University. They continue to amaze.
They do. Their times get less and less each week. I'm just like, how? How do they do that? But, it's very impressive. But the softball team unfortunately lost the conference component Immaculata University this weekend in their doubleheader. The Mighty Macs won by scores of 11-3 and 5-2. Both played in only 5 innings. The visitors seemed to have quick starts to each game that the Knights just couldn't seem to come back from. Their doubleheader at Washington College was postponed to today at 3 p.m., so they will be facing them today instead of yesterday. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're looking forward to a win.
Yes, a rebound today. Mm-hmm. It's a great day for a win. And
Why
the
not?
baseball team went 2-1 in their series with Cabrini University, losing 13-3 on Friday night. The Knights did a complete 180 and turned things around to win 11-3 and 14-4. With the Cavaliers tying the game at 3 in the top of the 6th, Colin Pollard led off the second half of the 6th with a solo home run to put the Knights ahead and stay ahead. Newman played 7 more runs in the 6th. Andrew Curran hit a 2-run double, and Sean Vega hit a 2-run single in the inning for 11-3 score. The Bats stayed hot going into the second game, leading 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Lopez hit a bases-clearing double for a 6-2 Newman advantage. Vega knocked in Pollard in the 6th for a 7-2 lead. In the bottom of the 8th, Ray led off with a solo home run. With the bases loaded, Vega and Nick Labaki drew back-to-back walks for 2 more runs. 2 hits and 2 sacrifice flies in the inning led the Knights to a 14-2 lead heading into the 9th. Marcus White was named Baseball Player of the Week, hitting .692 in 4 games. And the junior had 2 doubles and 2 home runs, scored 7 runs, and knocked in 7. White also drew through 3 walks and stole 4 bases. Will Hart was named Baseball Honor Roll, and pitching in the first game of the doubleheader against Cabrini University, he struck out 8 and only allowed 3 runs on 11 hits. The Knights take on Dickinson College today. First pitch is slated for 3 p.m. Vega was very hot in both those games.
Absolutely.
Lots of baseball played, and, lots of victories to go around for the Knights.
There's a lot of good things going on in that baseball team, and some more good things happening. The women's tennis team beat Cedar Crest College. Kylie Seeger was named Atlantic East Conference Women's Tennis Player of the Week. She and Hannah Osaka opened doubles play with an 8-5 win. Seeger followed her doubles win with a win at the third singles, 6-0 and 6-4. Nicole Turner wrapped up the win with a 6-0, 6-0 win at the 6th singles. After their match against Penn State Abington was postponed, the men's team will host Muhlenberg College today at 3:30.
Yes.
So let's
show
hope.
out for the men's team on the tennis courts.
Oh,
the
yeah.
brand new tennis courts. Hopefully we don't see any rain today.
Yeah, we're supposed to, but I feel like
Hopefully
so
it
many
holds off
games
for
have been
them.
getting postponed, like softball and baseball and tennis. We had like 6 games slated for one day, and then they all got pushed back, and the rain needs to go away.
Yeah, bowing down on the fun. But talk about fun. The men's lacrosse team bounced back from the loss to Misericordia University with a win against Lycoming College, 10-7. Senior Drew Conlon carries the offense on the win with 4 goals and 2 assists, along with Rich Marshall, Wyatt Bellotti, and Mike Kiley, having multi-point games. John McGrath was excellent on the faceoffs, winning 13 out of 15 attempts. Jake Fava picked up the win between the pipes with a crucial 11 saves. Dominating most of the game, the 4th quarter was significant for Newman's defense as Lycoming closed the gap 9-7. The Knights closed out the game with stellar defense, and Bellotti sealing the matchup with about a minute left. The men host Stockton University tonight at 7 p.m. That's at home as well. So.
Yeah. And it's going to be a great game because I was talking to their coach the other day, and they were saying that a lot of their recruits are they're like in between Newman and Stockton.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they might see some freshmen that could have been at Newman. Could be a little rivalry going on, but
And just as we said, we hope it doesn't rain. I hear the rain pouring.
It's pouring down rain.
I hear the rain beginning to pour. So.
But hopefully that'll clear up for today. But moving on to some more exciting news. In a defeating loss 20-8 to Hood College last Tuesday, the women's lacrosse team took on Wilkes University Thursday, and it sure was an exciting game. Newman struggled mightily heading into halftime, down 7-2. The Knights knew they had to start chipping away. Scoring 3 unanswered goals, Lindsay Fagan tallied twice, and Riley Fiedler added her 2nd goal of the day. The Knights were quickly back in the game. Going into the 4th quarter, down 10-6, Newman continued to fight the last 15 minutes. The Knights fought back with Jayana Murray, who we interviewed a couple weeks ago, and you can go check that out if you want, lowering the lead to 3 with 9 minutes left. Things looked bleak with 5 minutes to go and still down by 3, but Lindsay Fagan was unstoppable, scoring twice in a minute span. Allie Mallon then ripped a shot to tie the game 10-10, setting the stage for a frantic final few minutes. Coming up with a huge defensive stops, Lindsey Fagan beat her defender and drew a free position shot with 22 seconds left. The standout sophomore sniped the game-winning goal, and Newman celebrated a massive comeback victory. Lindsey Fagan was named Women's Lacrosse Weekly Honor Roll, the Atlantic East Weekly Honor Roll, and she scored 4 goals in the Hood game and scored 6 goals, including the game-winning goal against Wilkes. So the lacrosse team looks to carry that momentum into their matchup today against Swarthmore College tonight at 5:30. So some interesting stuff happening.
Oh, what a roller coaster of a win.
It was so emotional.
Yeah. Oh, wow. But you know what? That's what makes it more fun, and that's what makes getting the win even more rewarding.
Absolutely. You feel so good. But
Yeah.
good luck to all of our outstanding student athletes this week. Thank you for tuning in to the Sports Shift. I'm Brylin Adams with my lovely co-host Ria Troilo. We will see you next Wednesday.